Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Comm Box. I'm Saiyami Kher and I have Simon with me at the 15-over point. Bangladesh are 81 for 2. Well, Litun Das started off well. He went out, he got out on 23 and now Shakib and Shanto are batting. But Simon, how good has Madushanka been yet again?
Yeah, once again, absolutely brilliant. Swinging the ball back into the right-handers, away from the left-handers, using that short ball really well. I think he's used his bouncer very well throughout the tournament. He's got good pace. He just continues to impress. The leading wicket taker in the tournament now, and he sort of set the tone for Sri Lanka. But I think Bangladesh have been really smart. In the last little while, they've been really smart. We just saw a good boundary in that previous over, but they've actually soaked up good deliveries. They've hung in there. I know Shakib's been dropped, but I just think they're setting it up pretty much like we talked about. If they can get another 100 off the next 21, 22, 23 overs, so only going at 4 and a bit, maybe 5 and over, they set it up really nicely for the back end, providing they've got wickets in hand.
Well, they always listen to Cricbuzz Live, don't they?
Yeah,
That's what they've done. But the first 10 overs had everything, good batting, some sixes, great bowling and a few catches dropped. Let's have a look at the Bangladeshi batting card because like I said, Litun Das started off well. He was aggressive, but unfortunately couldn't hang around for very long, got out on 23. But Shakib and Shanto now steadying the ship and both of them looking very positive.
Yeah, they are looking positive. And Shanto's just weathered the storm, which I think he needed to do. He just hit that one boundary to sort of up his strike rate a little bit, but he's doing the job that I kind of thought they needed someone to do. And Shakib, it seems like that little moment with Angelo has maybe given him a little bit of steel. He is he is much like Bangladesh. He's a tiger. He does like the fight. He does want to get into the contest. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that from Shakib at the moment. They can't let this partnership dwell though. They've got to take this partnership for the next sort of 8 to 10 overs. Give that some solidity and give the sort of the dugout and the dressing room just a little bit of confidence moving forward. We've already seen the dew, the little buggy cam has shown us that it is reasonably wet. It'll only get wetter. It'll only get easier to bat. So they just have to remember that even through the tough times at the moment, if they bowl a good over or two Sri Lanka, they have to remember that later on it just gets so much easier and it's a really difficult ground to defend.
We'll have a look at Sri Lanka's bowling now because you spoke about the dew. Theekshana has been expensive even before the dews come in. So things aren't looking good for him. But of course, Chamira and Madushanka looked very good. Yeah,
no sign of any other spinner yet apart from Theekshana, who you don't really term a genuine spinner. He bowls those ones out of the front of the hand. Madushanka's been outstanding. Rajita just that one really expensive over. So when do they turn to spin again? And the longer they leave it, the more chance Bangladesh have got of knocking this score off because the wetter the ball, the harder it is, the more it just slides onto the bat nicely. So are they going to stick with just the 5 bowlers with the 4 seamers and Theekshana, or are they going to go to another spin bowling option and see what they've got? Because the longer they leave it, the longer this partnership develops, the tougher it gets for Sri Lanka, I think.
Well, they've got Dhananjay De Silva to come in, but like you said, the longer they wait, the tougher it gets for the spinner.
Yeah, and also taking the ball away from both left-handers, I think he's probably a pretty good option. I would have maybe had him in a little bit sooner, and because the seamers will find it a little bit easier. It's never easy, but the seamers find it a little bit easier to grip the ball and to just let the ball go, and it actually skids through quite nicely. So I just probably would have liked to have seen him already in the mix with the 2 left-handers at the crease.
Simon, that Angelo Matthew and Shakib contest, it could have gone and back to Angelo Matthews, but he was dropped on the second ball.
Yeah, and it was the man who made the 100 as well, wasn't it? So look, he goes from highs to lows, and this game will do that too. It'll bring you back down to earth so quickly with a thump, and that's kind of what's happened. I mean, they would have loved that wicket because they know how steely Shakib is. And picking his wicket up at that time, sort of 2 wickets in reasonably close succession, it would have been a really good thing. It would have been good for Angelo as well. I think that would have been a key for him, just giving him a little bit more of a lift after a pretty ordinary night so far. So you can't afford to give good players chances. Shakib has to make them pay now, and they've got to find a way to break this partnership.
Well, Angelo Matthews was also reminding Litun Das about the time when he got that cramp. So we could see it all happening, couldn't we?
Yeah, look, they were, and rightly so. They were on at both the umpires and said, look, you know, there's a window that you're allowed to get treatment on the field for an injury. And if it takes too long, then you've got to go off. And I think that was the right thing to do. They've just got to remind. It was probably a friendly, tongue-in-cheek kind of reminder, but it would have had a little bit of meaning to it.
Simon, where do you see the next 20 overs going now?
Well, if Bangladesh can get around about that 100, 80, 90, 100 off the next 20 overs and only lose one wicket. If they do that, they set themselves up beautifully for a finish. As I say, 8, 9, 10, 11 and over for the last 8, 9, 10 overs is not difficult at this ground if they've got 7 wickets in hand. So one more wicket only in the next 15 overs and Bangladesh should have this run chase under control.
All right, we'll wait and watch and we'll see what happens in the 35th over. We'll see you at the Cricbuzz Comm Box.